friends, it's Miss Eliza, Children's Librarian at the Waukee Public Library, and I'm here with another Elementary Maker Monday. We have a music themed pack this month, and so for today's project, we're going to be making these pan flutes out of straws. So the things that you're gonna need are at least probably 5 to 8 straws, and we have here kind of clear biodegradable straws. You could also do this with a regular plastic straw. You're gonna need scissors, tape, and then a piece of thick paper, like I have a cardstock here, or construction paper might work if you do a couple layers of it, or a cardboard would work fine too, kind of like a cereal box or something, like a thinner cardboard would work, and that's just how you're gonna make the handle for your flute. To get started, I've got 2 strips of paper that are pretty much the same size, and that we did about 7 inches or so, but it kind of depends on how big you want your flute to be. So those are cut, and if you wanted to decorate, we put some music notes on this one. You could do whatever you want. Maybe you want to write your name, anything like that. You can kind of decorate this. This is going to be the holder for your flute. After that's done, you're going to do the important part, which is you're going to cut the straws. And you can see how on here, we've got a long straw, and then they get progressively shorter. So this one's a little shorter, and then this one, and this one, and this one. And the shorter ones and the longer ones are gonna make different types of sounds. So for this one, we really just wanted to explore the differences in the tones for the length of straw. If you wanted to make very specific notes, like a do, re, mi, fa, sol, la kind of scale, I've included that on the instruction sheet for this project. So you can try to make specific notes, and then you can even play a whole song. But if you're just interested in seeing the different tones that you can make, you don't really have to measure. You just want to line your straws up in a row, and then you're gonna cut along a diagonal line. And that will make the top straw shorter and the bottom straw longer. So I'm going to hold those carefully and then cut along that dotted line. And you might want to be careful, because if you're using plasticky straws like mine, sometimes the ends can fly off. Hang on to those ends if they do. All right, so I'm just going to cut along a diagonal line. All right, so now I've got a short straw, and then they get progressively longer. So I've got those all ready to go, and we're gonna line them up and put them into our holder so we can play them. All right, so to do that part, you're gonna start with 1 strip of your paper and just lay it flat. And then if you have double stick tape, you can put a strip of that all along the edge, or I don't have double stick, but I'm going to make a loop of tape by just wrapping the sticky ends together, just like that, and then placing that right on my piece of paper. It looks like I'm gonna need to make another little loop for that end. Very good. And then you're gonna wanna go ahead and do that with your second piece of paper, and then put that one to the side for a little bit. So I'm gonna pull a big old piece of tape and make a loop out of it. Stick it on. All right, so that's good to go for later. And then to put your flute together, you're gonna wanna line them up in order. So you take your longest straw and stick it to the piece of tape with like about an inch, or maybe a little bit more or less, doesn't have to be super precise, but about an inch hanging over the edge of the paper, and then the long end hanging down below. And then you're gonna wanna do the same thing all the way down until you get to the shortest one. Now you'll notice that when I cut them, I've got 4, and they're about this kind of shape, but I can put in an end. This is the piece that I cut off one of the shorter ones, so that one might even fit in there. So you can get an extra little note out if you use the other end that you cut off of your straws. So however many you want to do, you can lay out. Just make sure that they go in order from longest to shortest. And you don't want them to be touching when you put them together. So they need a little bit of space in between to allow the vibrations from your breath to fully vibrate the straw. So that one's next, and then I'll put down this one. Make sure to leave that little inch or so above the top, because that's the part that will blow into. Here's another one. Here's another one. And my last piece. going in. I'm gonna take one of these really short pieces I cut off the edge and see if we can get any sound out of that. I'm not sure we'll be able to, but we can sure try. All right, so now they're all stuck on in a descending order from our longest all the way up to our shortest. And we're gonna put those together by placing the sticky side right down over top so that it lines up with the other piece of paper. Great, and now you can hold it. So as you go along, you'll blow across the top. So you don't wanna blow down into the straw. You're gonna blow across the top of the straw and see what happens. Should we try? Can you hear that? Cool, huh? So I'm gonna use this one to show you what it looks like. This is the one that I colored, and I also colored with marker along the bottoms of these so that I could tell the notes apart a little bit better. So you can try that as well if you had some permanent markers at home. And as you blow across, you'll notice that you hear the breath sound, and you also hear a tiny tone that's coming from the note caused by the length of the straw. Which one sounds higher to you? Yeah, I think you're right. The shortest ones make a higher pitched sound, and the longer ones make a lower pitched sound. So now you can play your very own straw pan flute. And if you're not happy with the tones that you're getting, you can also trim the straws in between, especially if you have a lot of different options. You can kind of trim them so that they make a sound that you like a little bit better. Or if you are trying to get it towards those do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do notes, then you can really try to get those by trimming up your straws. I hope you have a good time with your pan flutes, and we will see you soon.